Good morning, everybody. You're listening to 89.1 FM WXVU The Roar, Villanova student-run radio. It's a little past 11:30 a.m. on this snowy Sunday morning, which means it's time for Fun in the Locker Room, your favorite sports radio show where we have some fun in the locker room, recapping everything in the world of sports, discussing hot takes, making predictions, and much, much more. We're a radio show every 11:30 a.m. Sunday mornings. But also, if you miss a show or want to go back and listen to some of our takes, we're on YouTube now. Same name, Fun in the Locker Room on YouTube. We have a Twitter. Make sure to check out the Twitter. I know Sean and Liam have been very active recently just with everything that's going on. Obviously, today is Super Bowl Sunday, so we have a jam-packed episode today. But we're also, once we cover the Super Bowl, we're going to get into NBA trade deadline. I believe it was Thursday, which it was a wild Thursday. A lot of the moves that I think were unexpected went down, and then the one big move that we were all anticipating, is it going to happen or is it not going to happen, actually happened, and I think you know what we're talking about, and we'll get into that. My name is Truett. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Sean Reichel, Liam Holloway, and let's not even waste any time beating around the bush. Let's get straight in to Super Bowl Sunday, and I think there's no better way to do this. The way we've done it on the show forever is we got our picks. We're very passionate about getting our picks right and trying to beat the others in having the best record. But all that regular season playoffs is out the window. It is Super Bowl picks. This is for all the marbles. Sean, who do you got winning today? Bengals versus Rams.
It's a big game. I think we're all very excited about this. I think we're all self-anointed. Don't like the Rams for many different reasons. We all like the Rams. Liam's obviously the whole Saints situation back in the day.
We don't need to talk about that.
And Truett, yeah. It's twice. Actually, the Rams beat you twice, right? Because if they would have won the regular season game.
Super Bowls today. Bengals versus the Rams. Let's make our picks.
Well, anyway, so I think we all like the Rams, but Matthew Stafford is a great quarterback. I do expect it to be a close game. But Joe Burrow's just got the moxie. He's got the ability. He's been here. He's done that. He said he had a comment that says, like, somebody asked him if he was nervous about the game. He was like, I was more nervous for my high school state championship game because I'd never been in a situation like this before. He's played in LSU. Like, nobody. I think people underestimate how big, like, the national championship is in college. Like, having all those people screen him. Like, he's been in situations like this. He performs these situations. He's just a proven winner. And I think he finds a way to win this game. I do think they get down early because the Bengals don't start hot for some reason. But I do think the Bengals win this game.
Sean, I totally agree with you. And the Rams have shown in the past to blow huge second half leads. But he's America's man. Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr. He's going to lead the Bengals to the Super Bowl this year. And they're complete underdogs. Obviously, he's America's dude, but they have no pressure on them. The Rams have better talent, better depth in almost every position, besides maybe the quarterback position, but that's up for debate. But you just can't root against a guy like this, so I'm going to join you. Go Bengals.
All right, so I don't like the Rams at all. As a Seahawks fan, don't like the Rams. Didn't like it when they went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Was very happy when they lost. Here they are again, new quarterback, different supporting cast, favored by 4. I don't think any of us are calling this a home field advantage, even though it's in LA. I don't think any of us are trying to argue that.
Even in Tampa, there wasn't much of a home field advantage for Tampa because of how the tickets work.
Tickets cost so much.
If your team is in the Super Bowl, I don't think it's much stop you from flying there and going to the game, like the diehard fans. I don't think it's going to be much of any home field advantage at all.
Yes. That being said, I am wholeheartedly rooting for the Bengals. I love what Joe Burrow's been doing. I love the hype and the just the persona that he's kind of adopted on this center stage with the media this postseason. I love that young wide receiver trio they got with Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. That being said, though, it's so hard for me to argue with the and Liam, I'll acknowledge what you said. The Rams do blow a lot of second half leads, but I think even if the Bengals go down, let's say a touchdown, 10 points, I don't think it's going to be enough to come back. There's just so much talent on the Rams team. I mean, everyone knows the offense with Stafford. Odell has been playing amazing this postseason. Cooper Kupp has been undisputably the best wide receiver in football this year. On the defense, Aaron Donald, I continue to argue that Aaron Donald is arguably the best player in football some years. Definitely the best defensive player. And then number 2 on as far as defensive players in the league, Jalen Ramsey.
Really? The top 2 defensive players in the league?
Who would you? Okay, quick side tangent. Who would you have?
Neither of them won defensive player of the year.
That's true.
I go Micah, TJ.
Yeah, imagine if they had TJ Watt on the team. But as far as consistency goes, Jalen Ramsey's been good for a long time. Aaron Donald's been good for a long time. They've been to Super Bowl before. They got the experience. I just can't see. I don't know if they cover 4 points, but I'm going to take the Rams as much as it hurts me to say that. I would love to be wrong about this.
It's treasonous activity.
Even
picking the Rams.
This is the second time this year that on this podcast or on this show, Truett has picked against his team. He picked against the Seahawks earlier this year, if anyone remembers.
Was it the Saints game?
Yeah, I think
you picked the Saints to cover.
Or was it the Steelers? Because I think
it was the Steelers game.
Steelers, Seahawks, and then I ended up going with Seahawks Saints, and they still didn't cover.
But now you're once again rooting for your rival. I would never pick the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Never in my life would I pick the Buccaneers.
Exactly.
Even that game where the Bucks lost the regular season game.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I would love to be wrong. I just think this Rams team has way too much experience, way too much depth. Everything on the stat sheet on paper is telling me they should win. That being said, it's the Super Bowl. It's Joe Burrow. Anything could happen. I would love to be wrong.
yeah, quick side thing. Odell Beckham's first Super Bowl. What do you expect from him in this game?
He's definitely. Oh, I know we have this later, but the anytime touchdown for OBJ that is going to cash. I could totally see him. He's got 6 touchdowns?
Yeah.
He is looking
Crazy.
like I don't. Is it weird to say vintage Odell? Is that? I mean, he's older.
I think it's fair enough to say that.
Yeah.
Vintage Odell,
Yeah.
Giants Odell. Brown stint, I think now that we're seeing that he's coming back into his own, was a complete failure. I'm happy for the man. I'm glad. I don't know if you feel the same way, Sean, but I'm glad that he's playing well, even if it has to be for the team that I just don't want anyone to play well for. Yeah, I think he's going to go off because you got your hands full guarding Cooper Kupp. There's so many weapons on this team.
The one big thing, they are missing one of their big weapons. Tyler Higbee is out the game.
That is
That is huge. That is
He
huge.
is Matt Stafford's second leading target guy this entire year. So
Wow.
I think it's a big underrated loss that people aren't taking much into question because that's a guy across the middle of the field. I know Cooper Kupp's also the guy in the middle of the field, but just another big target for Matthew Stafford to throw to on third downs, conversions. It's going to be interesting to see how the Bengals defend this crazy wide receivers.
Who is their backup tight end, the Rams? Is it that Blanton guy?
I have no idea.
Because I remember when Higbee got hurt last game, whoever it was came in and did a pretty good
Jared
job.
Cook? No, can't be right.
Did a pretty good job of
I see Kendall Blanton and Bryson Hopkins.
I think it's a Blanton guy, but I mean Matt Stafford, great quarterback, and he's just got 2 weapons.
Yeah, and Van Jefferson, great.
Yeah,
third.
Van
Did you see the
Jefferson
stat
right
where Joe Burrow is the earliest? No, he's the number 1 pick. He's going to the Super Bowl the earliest out of any number 1 pick, and Matt Stafford is going to the Super Bowl the latest. I think it's 13 years for any number 1 overall pick, which is it's kind of crazy to think.
It is really crazy.
Different ways to get there.
Another quick question for the two of you because you guys like talking and hyping up the Bengals wide receiver trio.
Yes.
Who's got the better trio today?
Ooh.
I'm still gonna go Bengals.
So is Van
still
Jefferson's the
going
third?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's the best, undoubtedly, out of all of them. Is OBJ better than Jamar Chase?
He might be. I don't understand how you're receiving the
He might be,
conversation.
but Van
Rams
Jefferson's, I don't think
Rams.
I don't know.
See,
I have
and
the
this is
better
why I'm
trio.
choosing
Yeah.
Rams. Even their wide receiver trio is just
It's
just
better.
Yeah, it is better, but they're young and they're fun. You don't even like OBJ.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
he's better. Cooper Cup's not fun to you, Liam.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Broke a lot of records this year.
A lot of records.
Yeah, I'd go Rams trio as much as I've liked watching Jamar
That's
Chase
fair.
and T. Higgins. Although Jamar Chase, he torched the Rams when they played
He did.
in the regular season, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. It's up for debate. I'm rooting for the same thing you guys are, but I
don't know
see
how
a
you
different
can
outcome.
pick the Rams.
I'm sorry.
How do you pick them? It's not right. It's not right.
We'll see. Let's get into prop bets. So Liam kind of alluded to the one that I was going to choose. My favorite prop bet, OBJ anytime touchdown, especially because all of your attention is going to Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
It was either OBJ or I was really close to putting Van Jefferson because those are just 2 guys that find a way to get into the end zone very sneakily. They just get in there and get a touchdown. And I could totally see, maybe Cooper Kupp's the guy getting you 60 of those 80 yards on a drive, but then you're throwing OBJ in the end zone or Van Jefferson. So that's my lock.
First of all, we don't support gambling. We don't
But
do that here.
happy belated to Liam. He is now 21, so he can now gamble on this game if he wanted to.
I don't. If you're listening, I don't gamble. What were the odds for the OBJ anytime touchdown? Was it plus 700?
No way. It's that high?
Anytime touchdown. In
Cooper Kupp's anytime touchdowns like plus 300 or less.
Because they threw. Yeah. I don't know.
It might be
maybe
even plus 100. Like Cooper Kupp's anytime touchdown is ridiculously low.
Really? It's not surprising. Eli Apple's going to be guarding him. He'll be. He's going to have a great
OBJ
day.
is actually plus 150.
What?
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp's minus 165.
Are you serious? So these aren't
touchdown.
high. Wow.
Jamar Chase also minus 110.
Don't gamble these folks. Please
I was thinking
don't
of
gamble.
T. Higgins plus 190. That was the
these are
other one I
not
was
good
thinking about.
bets. These are not good bets.
Well, I guess the question is, do we get a high-scoring game?
Ooh. I don't know.
Like score prediction is roughly.
Unfortunately, I think either the Rams blow them out or it's a close game and the Bengals win.
I could see a 28-24 game, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling.
That'd be a fun game.
I
can't see another 13-3.
No.
Like the last time the Rams were there. I can't see that again.
I don't think the Bengals will start off as slow as they have been in the first half, but they've done it.
I'm just intrigued to see
lot.
because the Bengals locked down Mahomes with their defense with their schemes.
Second half.
I'm intrigued to see what scheme they pull up against this Rams offense.
It's got to be a lot of Cooper Kupp. You focus on the wide receivers. Make Matt Stafford beat you some other way.
Make Cam Akers beat you.
Yeah, make someone else beat you.
I want to apologize. I just looked it up. The Rams Bengals actually did not play this regular season.
That's what I thought. I was confused by you at first.
I thought I'd seen that somewhere, but
Madden.
maybe what I had seen was that the Rams are still letting elite wide receivers torch them. So
That's true.
Well, especially because they have two of them. Like Jalen Ramsey is on one side of the field, and I think he said he's going to shadow guard Jamar Chase for most of the game. So that leaves T. Higgins and
yeah.
Yeah.
With all the talk that Jalen Ramsey does, he has to.
this is leading into my prop bet, which is T. Higgins gets more yards than Jamar Chase.
That's a good
because of the
bet.
big fact that T. Higgins throughout this postseason he had like over 100 yards in the finals, in the conference finals. So that was really big. And then the fact that Jalen Ramsey's going one-on-one against Jamar Chase the entire game, I think he's gonna not eliminate Jamar Chase, but he's gonna like dampen his ability, and T. Higgins is gonna get the ball more.
Could you see this being a Joe Mixon make or break type of game?
It could be.
I would love that. The man's been disrespected his entire career, especially like fantasy wise.
He's had a really good year.
He's had a great season.
I think these are two like lowest rushing yard teams like in the league, but Joe Mixon has done very well by himself.
Great season. I could see him popping off, but
So what do you have for
my prop bet? As you guys know, big special teams guy. When I saw this bet, I once again don't support gambling, but this is free money. The longest field goal is set at 47.5 yards. You take the over on that. Evan McPherson and his big leg, he's gonna hit at least a 50-yarder.
The big question about all these games is how like conservative some teams play. Like, are you gonna go out there? Are these two conservative run offenses? Or are they gonna like push the envelope? Because the reason you get to the situation for long field goals is the team's not going for fourth down. But are these two coaches gonna go for it?
I figure
Sean McVay
early.
is ballsy.
So is Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure early. Both teams are going to be trying to get points on the board because you saw what happened in the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl, where points really mattered. You can't just give away possessions. If you have two guys that can kick, and Matt Gay and Evan McPherson, you're going to take points.
But at the same time, is that you think the Rams are like? Because if I'm the Bengals, I'm aware of how good this Rams defense is. But do you think the reverse is true? The Bengals defense hasn't really shown to be this terrifying group.
I mean,
to play against.
if you're the Rams, you just want to put points on the board any way you can get them. Obviously, touchdown much better than a field goal, but still, I don't know. Especially in the beginning of the game, I think, like Sean said, the Bengals have gone down early a lot, and the Rams have had a lot of first half leads. But early, I think both teams just need to score, really open it up.
Liam, walk us through what has Evan McPherson done this postseason that
makes
you so confident in this?
What did he do against the Chiefs? That game winner against the Chiefs.
Game winner.
I think he missed a field goal week 5, I believe, and then he had I want to say 3 game winners that year. I don't think he missed a regular season field goal under 50 yards after that miss, week 5. He's been probably the best kicker this season. And, I mean, the guy's likable. New rookie this year, him.
The way he carries himself is just so
impressive. He said when they beat the Titans, when he had he had the game-winning field goal, he said, guys, we're going to AFC Championship before he kicked it. So, I mean, you can't not like the guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think the 3 that we chose are good. So touchbacks.
I've got one courtesy of Will McKee telling me this the other day that the touchbacks, the first kickoff to result in not a touchback, has occurred 18 out of the past 20 Super Bowls. They've ran it out on the first kickoff.
Because why not? It's the first possession of a Super Bowl.
And as you think about it, it happens often because teams want to get momentum, chance for a big kickoff return. Yeah. They want these things.
Do we know the returners? I don't know who's returning it, but if it was someone like Tyreek Hill returning I think obviously you're kicking it out of the end zone.
He does.
Well,
Cup returns a good amount too.
Do you think
he punts?
Do you think OBJ? If I were the Rams, would you have OBJ return their first kickoff? Just go crazy? He's done it at the Giants. He used to return every once in a while.
I don't know. That's interesting, though. So 18 last 20, there hasn't been a touchback?
Not to start.
If I was the kicking team, I'd boot it out of the end zone. That's really interesting.
I don't know.
They have Brandon Powell as their kick and punt returner for the Rams. Yeah. I
think they have. I think Odell Beckham is back there returning this opening kickoff.
That would be awesome, and if that's the case, I am fearful, and I'm kicking that straight.
Yeah,
I'm not letting him.
I'm not letting him return. I'm not letting anyone return one.
As another OBJ aside, this helps Truett's prop bet. Cornerback Eli Apple came out and said today that he'd like to guard OBJ all game because he knows his old teammates' tendencies and can lock him down.
OBJ is going to have 3 touchdowns and 500 yards today. Lock it in. Eli Apple said that? Oh, my God. That guy's
can't stand this guy.
He's such a bum.
He's terrible on the Giants. We got rid of him. He's terrible on the Saints.
He's not good on the Bengals either. He had one good play.
He went tackle against Tyreek Hill. That was it.
Yeah, and then he chirped him on social media.
Oh, my God. Know your place.
Yeah.
Some guys.
I really hope it would be OBJ torches him. I'd rather the Bengals win, but OBJ to actually torch Eli Apple would be fun.
Burnt toast.
All right, we're gonna cut to a quick commercial, and then I think afterwards we'll do Super Bowl MVP, exciting prop bets, and then we'll get straight into the trade deadline. But for now, make sure the Villanova University Tech Crew, they hold their office hours every Friday from 12 noon to 4 p.m. in Tolentine. 09 office hours is open to everyone. Both current VUTC members and students interested in joining are encouraged to drop by. If you're not able to make it to office hours but you'd like to discuss something with VUTC or otherwise schedule a training and or meeting, please contact us at contact@vutc.com. All right, you're listening to 89.1 FM WXVU, Villanova student-run radio, The Roar, Fun in the Locker Room, Super Bowl MVP. I think we should break it down to if Rams win and Bengals win, we have our respective answers there because it just sounds more fun. So let's say if Rams win, Sean, who do you have?
Well, the problem is it's so easy to choose the quarterbacks, and I don't feel like choosing the quarterbacks. Can we do a non-quarterback?
I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
Non-quarterback.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, I think if the Rams win, Cooper Kupp has an absolute monster game, and Cooper Kupp's the MVP.
I like that pick. I think once again though, just because Cooper Kupp's so good, that's a nice easy pick. I'm gonna go Von Miller.
Wow,
we'll go
second Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, we might as well see him get a second, but I still think at the end of the day, this is a quarterback award.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna go D end similarly. I was thinking about Aaron Donald.
Is Aaron Donald D end?
Well, are you saying he's a?
I feel like he's like a
D tackle
type of. I don't know. Just
D lineman.
He sacks people. That's what he is.
And so I could see with that weak-looking Bengals O-line. I mean, we saw what the Titans did. Sacked him 9 times. Sacked Burrow 9 times when they played.
The Chiefs only got 4 sacks of them.
And they had great second half.
There's only 4 sacks.
The Bengals had a great second half.
But at the same time, they throw doubles and even triple teams at Aaron Donald, and I think one of the things that's made them successful this postseason is it allows Von Miller to essentially have one-on-one coverage and just beat people. So I could honestly see Von Miller winning it too, but I'll go with a defensive lineman for my non-QB if the Rams win.
So
what about the Bengals?
So you're picking Von Miller or Aaron Donald?
Hop
on the Von Miller train.
No, I'll go Aaron Donald.
Come
just
on.
to spice it
Von
up.
Miller's not even going to get a sack in this game.
I'll go Aaron Donald.
Oh, that we have something later for that too. We have something
okay.
What about if the Bengals win, Sean? Who's winning? Non-QB.
This is more difficult because I don't see anybody other than Joe Burrow winning this award if they win. I can't see any situation.
There's one kind of
Jamar Chase, maybe?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
kind
That's the
of
only other guy I
obvious
think. Like, I can't really see T. Higgins. Even if I think T. Higgins will have a better game than Jamar Chase, but I don't care if see T. Higgins having a good enough game to get that award. I think the only other option is Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon has a great game.
That's who I'm gonna go with.
I think I'm going to try Joe Mixon for
Yeah.
non-quarterback.
We'll both go Joe Mixon.
Yeah, because I don't see anywhere else going it.
This is a Joe Mixon. This is kind of like a statement game out of him. He's been
Wow, you guys are really on the
Lot of-
Joe Mixon
I mean-
hype train.
He had a great season. I
Yeah.
love Joe Mixon. Great fantasy player this year.
this
I support my
season.
guy.
He's been a great
Yeah,
fantasy.
I support my guy.
He always gets thrown
Matt
to the
Stafford,
wayside
no.
usually.
Bye.
Yeah, Joe Mixon.
All right, I'm not gonna go Joe Mixon.
Mixie.
I don't know. I see it being like you said, so obviously like 90% it's gonna be Joe Burrow if they win. I can't really see it be a defensive player unless like a huge like pick six happens, something like that.
McPherson?
Has a kicker ever won Super Bowl MVP?
I don't think so.
We were talking about this the other day. If he hits like 5 field goals and they win 15-14,
Then you have to absolutely give it to him.
yeah.
Well, he's the only one that scored
And,
points.
only
and,
one that
and he kicks
scored.
some long ones. If he kicks some
Yeah,
long ones,
he
any
kicks some-
60-yarders,
some
like
50-yard
And maybe
bombs
the
in
game
there.
winner too.
Yeah,
yeah,
and the game winner.
absolutely.
Bearing that doesn't happen, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase. I think the only way Joe Burrow wouldn't win this if the Bengals win is if Jamar Chase just like absolutely cooks Jalen Ramsey 3 touchdowns, 100 yards,
has
120
that.
Just
yards.
as a fun, how many
That-
yards does he need to get MVP over Joe Burrow? Like, what's the stat line he has
What
to
did he
reach
have?
to?
Remember that game where he broke the record? What
Oh,
was
yeah.
it, like 206?
If he had
300,
300 something.
the problem is, I mean, the
might be
QB's
250,
the QB's
yeah.
throwing him the ball,
Yeah.
right? So he's stacking up the yards.
But
So-
argument's sake, let's say
However, it
Joe Burrow has 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Jamar Chase has 250 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, you give it.
In
to
that
Jamar.
situation, then you give it to Jamar Chase.
It's kind of like a Debo type of thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and like when we were talking about this the other day when Julian Edelman won, he won the MVP in versus the Rams,
But-
and obviously Brady was the one giving him those yards, but he had like most of the yards.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the Pats didn't score besides his touchdown.
Yeah.
So
It would have to be something like that happening,
Touchdown.
in my opinion.
I agree.
All right, so those are our picks. We got if Rams win, Sean's going Cooper Kupp, Liam's going Von Miller, I'm going Aaron Donald. If Bengals win, Sean and Liam are going Mixon, I'm going Jamar Chase. Let's get into overall popular, exciting prop bets. The one that America just loves, the coin toss at the beginning of the game. -105, -105 for heads and tails. What are we thinking? This, I mean, I don't even know like what
tails
logic
never
is
fails.
here.
Tails never fails.
It's always heads.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
I'm going
always
heads
heads
too.
though.
I'm going heads. I don't know. I should mention my gambling story from last Super Bowl, but heads made me a happy man that day. Choosing heads for the coin toss. Follow up: will the team that wins the coin toss win the game? And just a little stat for you: 24-31 in Super Bowl history.
Have a quick question before then.
Go for it.
If you were the team and you won the coin toss, what are you deciding? Like, are you getting the ball? Are you kicking? Are you deferring? What are you doing?
Give me the ball. I never like teams that defer. Just 'cause,
I think
like,
especially in
always
the
want
Super Bowl, I
ball.
think you want that ball right away.
You go out and you
I
score
don't know.
in your first possession.
As a Seahawks fan, they've always deferred every time. They deferred, I think, I don't know if it was both Super Bowls, the first Super Bowl. I'll go defer.
Okay.
Trust in your defense.
Okay. I think whoever wins the coin toss will win the game.
Wow, there you go. I'll take the opposite of that just for fun.
I'll follow the stats. More often than not, they lose the game. So I'll go. I'll go. They don't. Whoever wins the coin toss does not win the game. Gatorade color. What are we talking there?
So I've had I've heard 2 people explain their like thoughts about this, and there's 2 opposite points of view about this. It's either the most popular Gatorade color of the team is what's gonna be poured in their head. So if the team really likes orange Gatorade, like if their favorite's orange Gatorade, then that's gonna be what's poured in the coach's head, or it's which Gatorade color the team likes the least. Because that's the stuff that hasn't been drank yet.
Who's gathering this information? Like, what
I don't
the
know.
team? This is like the team.
Just
like,
theoretically, like people like, what's your favorite color Gatorade?
So they're asking the.
No. Just in general, I feel like people like blue Gatorade and
I
like
feel like blue.
people don't like orange as much. I personally love orange, but I feel like orange is less
I
liked.
like orange as well. Yeah.
Why is clear such a? It's only like four. It's got the fourth best odds.
Well, maybe because they get clear Gatorade on the sideline and nobody drinks it all game, so that's what we got left over at the end. Because nobody likes clear Gatorade. I personally go on orange.
I'll go orange as well, just because the Bengals are going to win, and then they're going to pour orange Gatorade on their
Only
cup.
twice, actually, in the past 20 years, has the color Gatorade matched the colors of the team that poured it.
But has orange ever been in it?
Yeah, it has been. But no orange team has ever been in the Super Bowl. That's fair.
Yeah.
But like the Patriots and the
Bengals.
Is that
Steelers
true?
are only
No
two
orange
teams.
team is.
Well, I mean, it's the Bengals.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
The Bengals and the Browns, right? You can't pour brown Gatorades, right? Ugh.
I'll go purple, just for the fun of it.
Purple?
I'll go
I like
purple.
that.
Yeah.
What was it last
Are you
year?
going to back that up on the prop bet sheets?
I might back that up on the.
What was it last year? Was it red?
No, because it didn't match the color.
Blue?
Could have been blue.
Ah.
It didn't match the team. Only the Steelers and the one Patriots Super Bowl hasn't matched the color of the team.
Interesting. Okay, Liam, why don't you? This is the one you put.
Oh,
in there.
yeah. I thought this
walk
was a
us through
fun
this
one. So, this is a prop bet basically for the Rams defense. Guys named Vaughn. To record a sack, it's minus 160. You have Von Miller and Von Bell. I just thought that was funny. I'm gonna go. Yeah, that'll hit. Von Miller.
You better put if you want to.
my Super Bowl MVP.
No, they'll not hit.
I think it'll hit. I don't know. This is a fun one. That's why I put it down there. It's kind of stupid, but
How funny would that be if it was Von Bell? And
Yeah.
not Von Miller?
yeah. I mean, it is possible, you know. But yes, someone named Vaughn will get a sack today.
But Von
Lock
Bell
it in.
is a safety, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're really riding on Von Miller here, and maybe I don't know how. I haven't watched enough Von Bell highlights to see how many times he.
He had a sack
Comes up
against the
in sacks.
Titans this year.
Okay.
He was really good for the Saints, though. Really good for the Saints. Von Bell.
I forgot about
This
that.
does not happen. Von Miller does not get on the field enough. He's old. People overhype him.
Sean, it's fun.
He does not get a safe. He does not get a sack.
I'm surprised it's minus 160.
It seems really high.
That is really
it's
like
'cause it's
favorite.
two dudes rather than just one.
Yeah, but
Guy's named Vaughn.
that's funny. That is funny. Okay, so Super Bowl MVP speech. I feel like this is one that people talk about a lot. Who is getting thanked first or mentioned by the Super Bowl MVP? And I feel like it kind of has to do with who is giving it, right? It's not like a clear cut, like everyone always says, teammates first. It is a lot of religion first, but what do you think?
If the Rams win it and Matt Stafford gets it, he thinks his family first. I can guarantee that one.
Yeah. thank
I'm
his
with you
wife.
on that. I'm with you on
wife.
that.
Joe Burrow, I think, thanks his teammates first.
And then the city.
And then the city, obviously. He might think the city first.
Yeah.
He'll go like,
Cincy.
imagine he pulls like a, instead of
Oh,
LeBron
instead of
James,
Cleveland, it's Cleveland, yeah.
Cincinnati. So I'm going to go city and fans, personally.
Wow. I like
Interesting.
that
They have
one.
team. Who has anyone ever thanked the team owner first?
Tom Brady might have thanked Kraft.
Are you serious? God, that was. I mean, he won so many times he could thank everyone, right? Just name
He
people
literally
off.
should have just changed it up who he thanked first each time, threw off the betters.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go religion. I feel like it's always like thank the man above. You know, that's a very. I feel like that's a very common one. I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, I'll be boring then. I'll just go team and teammates. I mean, it's pretty. These
Very
are just
boring of
stupid
you.
bets. These are funny. I like them though.
One other one, national anthem.
Oh, over.
so what is-
Always.
what is the,
Always
So-
the over?
What is it
Okay,
this time?
this is where Vegas is like trying to mess with my head because typically the time is around 2 minutes is what they typically put the over under on. This year it's 95 seconds.
Over.
That's really.
Don't over.
It's really lower.
That's a lot lower. Just Vegas must know something.
It's a country singer this time. I had thrown that
Okay.
throws off, but like
Aren't there always people that like insiders that go in while they're
typically
practicing?
it hasn't been released this year.
Really? Because I think it was it the same last year as what was?
Last year was under because last year was way under. It's been
Okay.
way under recently.
I'm gonna go over. 95 seconds.
That's a big adjustment for Vegas.
I'm feeling under. I'm feeling
I
under.
think they know something.
It's a huge
Yeah.
adjustment.
Too much time.
Is this a trap?
I know.
Bet right here.
They
want everyone to choose the
This
over.
has been bugging me so much. I've been just trying to figure out, is it a trap? Are they begging me to take the over?
This is silly. This is silliness.
Truett,
So what did you say?
I said over.
Over,
Why not?
under.
At least long national anthem.
I'll go over. I know it might be a trap bet, but 95 seconds is I
That's
don't
just
know.
weird. That's weird.
yeah,
So it was 2 minutes last year?
yeah.
Huh.
And it hit the under on the 2 minutes.
Vegas knows.
All right, let's see. Any other? All right, here's a good one. Cooper Cup, 105 yards, over under.
Over.
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 Okay. Jamar
Matthew
Chase
Stafford-
is
Matthew
80 and a
Stafford.
half.
80.5 for Chase. Over.
Over.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford rushing yards,
Over.
5.5.
Over. And Joe Burrow.
So he needs like
12 and a half.
one run, essentially. One first down run.
Yeah, I got under on that one.
What's
what
Joe
about,
Burrow's?
Here, I got one. Sam Perrine over under 4 rushing yards. Bengals backup running back.
I think it's P. Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Samaje.
Yeah, it's
Okay, I didn't know how to pronounce it. Sam are the first 3 letters, so it's Sam. He goes by Sam.
I don't. I mean, how many times does he like? Is he the? He's the second.
4 yards.
under.
Come on, don't hear.
He's
that
the
man.
backup running back?
Sam J. Sam J.
Samaj.
I
He's
just saw
he's
Sam
he's
on
the
ESPN,
like
and it just
second string.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll take the over.
4 yards.
Cooper Cup 0.5 rushing yards.
Over.
Over.
Oh.
They-
Will a non QB throw a pass today? 100% yes.
Yeah, Odell.
Yeah.
Throw a
Odell.
touchdown?
No, just a pass.
Was there a touchdown?
Completed pass.
Did he go-
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Odds for that got to be high. Yeah, I'll go. I'll take that. Yeah. We'll see OBJ throw one. Why
OBJ to
not?
Cooper Cup.
That would be crazy.
That'd be cool. What about a Philly special?
Jamar to T.
OBJ
Jamar
to
to Burrow.
Philly special.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Jamar who?
Jamar to Burrow.
That'd be interesting.
See, Mixie let
See,
one
we already
loose.
did anytime touchdowns. You already said the touchback.
Dogs.
First offensive play of the game. Rush attempt or pass attempt?
Pass.
Yeah, we'll go pass.
Does it depend on who gets the ball, or are you just
No.
pass regardless?
6.5 dogs in commercials over under.
Over.
6.5 dogs, like total for every commercial.
Yeah.
100% over.
But
Actually, I don't know.
One
I'll go
commercial, like if there's like 6 dogs in one commercial, that counts as one.
What?
Commercial.
Oh, I didn't know
Wait. So
that.
is that one of the 6 I need, or is that
Yeah,
does
that's-
that already finish the?
No, it's
the
one
bet?
of the 6.
So 6 commercials that have dogs.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah, we'll take the over. Why not?
I'll take
I
the
like-
under.
I like
I can
dogs.
see 4. 4 is gonna seem like a lot, but it's still not gonna.
I like dogs. We'll go over.
Does the team score a touchdown on their opening drive?
No.
No. What about
Evan
field
McPherson
goal?
field
Yeah,
goal.
Evan McPherson field goal. Yes, sir.
Okay, opening kickoff return for a touchdown. You want to know what the odds are for this? Yes is plus 5,000. No is minus 100,000.
Wow.
What is it? You got to bet $100,000 to win 10?
100.
To win 100.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's nuts.
Will there be a 2-point conversion attempt?
Yes.
Will it be successful?
No.
No.
Yes, we'll go successful. Why not?
Will any quarter be scoreless?
No.
No.
Really?
You'll at least see an Evan McPherson field goal.
How many field goals for Evan McPherson?
5. No. We'll go. McPherson will hit. We'll set his line at what? It's probably
3.5? 2.5?
I was gonna say 2.5. We'll set it at 2.5. I'm taking over.
Everybody's favorite safety during the game.
Huh?
No. There's no safety during the game.
No.
I got one for
What are the odds on that? Minus
Yes
$1
is plus 750. No is minus
I
1,200.
got one for Liam. Over under 1.5 punts that land inside the 10-yard line.
Oh. I really like the Bengals punter. I really
Okay.
like him. Yeah, we'll hit the over on that. Special team is going to be a big part of this game.
Any onside kicks?
Yes.
No.
They have to be successful or just an attempt.
Attempt.
Yeah, why not?
Will the game be tied again after 0-0?
Yes.
Yes.
That's. I feel like it's pretty good. Will the last play of the game be a QB kneel?
No.
You know, it's actually minus 210 for yes.
I would say yes, too. I'd say no, more than likely than not it does.
It's going to end on an Evan McPherson 55-yard ball.
I don't know. I can't really find any other good ones, but there are some good ones out there, like penalties and stuff like that. But anything else we want to say about the Super Bowl? Huge day, huge game.
Very excited.
It's going to be awesome. And we're getting great food.
Prop bets for the win.
Yeah.
Go Joey B.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to cut to a quick commercial, and then we will get into NBA trade deadline. You're listening to WXVU 89.1 FM, The Roar, Fun in the Locker Room. Stay with us.
From the newsroom, this is WXVU News Director Gabriella Raful with your weekly Mainline News Minute. Unfortunately, a man died after being struck by a vehicle in Delaware County over this past weekend. Springfield police said the man was hit by the vehicle on the 100 block of North State Road Sunday morning. The accident occurred in the southbound lane, and emergency responders pronounced the man dead at the scene, while the driver stayed with responders. The man's identity has not been released. However, the Delaware County Crash Investigation Team is looking into it. Anyone who has information on the crash is asked to contact Deputy McNeely at 610-544-5504. In other news, thousands of dollars worth of beauty products were stolen from an Exton store last week. According to West Whiteland Township Police, $10,000 in makeup was stolen from Ulta Beauty in the Fairfield Place Shopping Center on Thursday this past week. 2 women are sought in connection with the theft. Anyone who has information on theft is asked to contact Deputy Scott Pesic at 484-875-6021 or spesic at westwhiteland.org. With this week's Mainline News Minute, I'm Gabriella Raful from the WXVU Newsroom.
Is your Play-Doh paper due tomorrow? Need a fresh set of eyes to look over your final draft? Haven't even started yet? You can make an appointment at the Villanova University Writing Center. Located on the second floor of Falvey Memorial Library, the Writing Center is full of professionally trained tutors who assist Villanova students of all majors on their writing assignments, from personal statements to thesis papers, at any stage in the writing process. Hours of operation are Sunday 3:30 to 7:30, Monday through Thursday 11:30 to 7:30, and Friday from 11:30 to 3:30. Stop in or call 610-519-4604 to make an appointment today.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. 1, okay, cool guy. 2, 3 times. Next, I put it in reverse. Meep, meep, meep. Then I take it up and down, up and down. And that, kiddos, is called the forklift.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now that's dancing. Sure beats flossing.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I want to get back to seeing my grandbabies every Sunday and smothering them with big hugs and kisses.
I want to get back to football games with my boys.
I want to get back to feeling and touching, connecting with the people around me.
I want to get back to family dinners and my grandma's mac and cheese.
I want to get back to real grocery shopping. Taking my time, walking down every aisle, smelling the tomatoes and melons, having a free sample or 2 or 3.
COVID-19 has changed how we live and how we feel. But now, there are vaccines. And they are the first step that let us get back to feeling optimistic about the days ahead of us. It's okay to have questions.
Is it safe?
Should I get it?
Should I wait?
Now, get the facts. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you. Brought to
Welcome back. You're listening to Fun in the Locker Room, 89.1 FM, WXVU, The Roar, Villanova student-run radio. Super Bowl Sunday, we just recapped all of our prop bets, predictions, Super Bowl MVPs, everything like that. If you missed it, if you're just joining us, make sure to check out our YouTube after we're done, and it'll be up there, and you can go back and listen to our predictions. Let's move on to equally as exciting. The NBA trade deadline was last Thursday. A lot of moves were made the week prior, but then it started heating up as we got closer to Thursday. And obviously, we will address the huge trade. But before we go through a look at all the major trades, we're going to look at favorite trade from the deadline. Let's start with you, Sean.
A little underrated, a little crazy. Torrey Craig to the Suns.
Wow.
I like the return to Torrey Craig. He's a big part of their postseason run last year, and he just provides more depth. Like, another solid player the Suns can like have on their team, can trust on offense. Like if you have a starting lineup now of Chris Paul, Booker, Bridges, Crowder, Ayton, that's not changing. But you have now a second lineup of Payne, Shamet, Cameron Johnson, Torrey Craig. Like that's a good guys you can rotate in and out. Like I don't know, I just love the move from them. I think it gives them more depth, more opportunity. And the Suns top of the Western Conference, and they're expanding their gap, in my opinion.
What did they give up for him?
Jalen Smith.
Yeah, and a second.
Oh, Jalen Smith is playing really well.
Yeah, but he's a young guy. Where the Suns are at right now, they need guys with experience and guys who could do it in the playoffs. And Torrey Craig's done it before.
Yes.
I don't think it's a bad trade just because I know Jalen Smith was playing well when Ayton was out this season. But before this season, everywhere I saw, it was just like for draft grades like D-, F, just because he was such
not play.
He just didn't play at all last season because he's just such a project and not an NBA ready guy, and that's just like not where the Suns, the direction they were headed in. So get him to the Pacers where that they're anything but needing NBA ready guys, and they'll take on a project. So underrated, I agree, Sean. It was a good trade though.
Yeah, I think it's a best trade of the trade deadline.
What do you got, Liam? Big one.
Yeah, I had to go with the big one here. And this is on the Sixers side of it. I think the Sixers going out, getting rid of Ben Simmons, and getting James Harden is the best trade. Because you look at what was happening in Philly. Joel Embiid's playing like an MVP. And they had a pretty good team. But Ben Simmons, once again, still found ways to make headlines, even though he hasn't touched the court this season. They go out, they get a former MVP in James Harden, arguably top 10 player in the NBA. When he's on, he's probably top 5. That pick and roll is going to be unguardable between them. And you have two guys on the court that can give you 40 like it's nothing. It's going to be crazy. The only problem is with this trade, they gave up two picks. I mean, the picks don't really matter, but they gave up Seth Curry, who's been a huge part of their success recently, shooting ability. But you look at this team, they still got Thibault, they still got Danny Green. They did give away Andre Drummond, which, I mean, you haven't beat, so it doesn't really matter much. But you still have Maxey. So this team Sixers are going to be good, and I don't know how people are going to stop them.
What's your expectations for them?
Let's see. Let's take a look at the standings right now. So they're fifth in the East, 2.5 games out of first. I mean, it's them, the Bucks, and when the Nets are healthy, it's those three teams for me. So
are the Sixers the favorite in the East? To come out of the Eastern Conference, to win the Eastern
I'd say
Conference?
right now, yeah. Just because the Nets aren't healthy.
You'd mentioned the Bulls out of curiosity. You don't think the Bulls? No.
I'd take the Bucks over the Bulls right now. And I think right now I'm
if you were to rank those teams,
Sixers, Bucks, Nets, Bulls. But the Sixers just have
Nets team?
healthy. That's if the Nets are healthy. Yeah, but I just can't see. I mean, Chicago doesn't have that playoff experience. They're young. And then the 76ers, I mean, they've been waiting for this window for so long. And they missed the first James Harden ship last time. They actually capitalized on it. And they got rid of Ben Simmons. They did everything they needed to. This is their championship window. And, I mean, if the Nets never get healthy, I think they're the favorite in the East.
What do you think, Sean? Stick with the Sixers for this.
Yeah. I don't think they became a better regular season team because I think in the regular season you don't need that second starter to do well. I think they're going to stay around a 5 seed probably. James Harden and Joel Embiid are going to need time to gel together. James Harden is such a diva.
I don't like James Harden.
Where's he going to be next year?
He actually picked up his option after the trade.
Oh yeah, how'd that work out for last time? He said he was going to resign to Brooklyn. We have another 4th team in 3 years for him. I don't know. It's so incredibly frustrating with this guy who just nothing can make him happy.
What about basketball?
The basketball-wise, but I don't think he's a winner.
He's not.
He's not a winner.
Proven not winner. But
yeah, and I just don't see the Sixers beating the Bucks, beating the newly built Nets, and I think even the Heat could give them a run for their money. I don't think the Sixers. I think the Sixers.
So you don't like this trade?
No, I do like this trade because that's all they could do. But I still don't think the Sixers' ceiling is that high. The ceiling's incredibly high. I don't think they'll reach their ceiling. I don't think they come out of the Eastern Conference at all. They're not going to the finals.
Okay, I'm gonna unpack everything that you. Okay, so addressing what you said, I agree. The haul that they had to give up for James Harden was not bad at all, considering how low Ben Simmons' trade value is at the moment. Yes, Seth Curry was probably one of your essential players on this Sixers team at the moment, but you don't give up Thibault, you don't give up Maxey. I actually disagree. I think the Andre Drummond, because he was having a good year, and even though you have Embiid is made of glass, and so having Andre Drummond come in and be a starter for that potential rainy day situation, I think was huge. I don't know if they're going to address the buyout market or whatever to get a backup center, but at the same time, if you had told me a week after Ben Simmons passes up a layup in the Eastern Conference semis, whatever series it was versus the Hawks, and that they were still going to get James Harden for Ben Simmons, I would have said you're crazy. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they pulled this off, yes, they had to throw in 2 firsts and Seth Curry,
and Drummond,
but wholeheartedly, you had a player that was not playing basketball for you, and you got James Harden. So the way I look at it is you essentially traded Seth Curry and 2 firsts and Andre Drummond for James Harden. Like, I know that's not actually what it is, but I think we had to assume Ben Simmons was never going to play another game. He was never going to play another game for the Sixers.
Collecting dust.
And
it's not doing anything.
We were seeing reports that they couldn't even get like Simmons for CJ. Like the Sixers were asking so much, and the Blazers were like turning down. We're not even going to give you CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons. So to actually get James Harden and timing, this is all honestly a lot of luck that James Harden wanted to get out of Philly happened now, and not wanted to get out of Brooklyn happened now and not like after the trade deadline. But yeah, I agree. I see this as a dub. I think it's too early to say that they're going to win the East because we haven't seen these two guys play together before. James Harden does very well when he's by himself. Rockets Harden was great, and he's a great regular season team, but we all agree he's a proven loser in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. That being said, ceiling is high. I don't know if they're making it out of the East. Maybe if next year you find a Seth Curry replacement, you make it out of the East. But
you have Danny Green still.
Still got Danny Green. But all that being said, massive W for the Sixers.
Yes.
Massive W.
They did what they needed to do. They got rid of Ben Simmons, and they got Harden back, which
absolutely.
was
I agree with all that.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was impossible, and they did it. Massive dub.
Okay, so before we get to we'll get to the net side of it. Let's address so my favorite trade from the deadline was Tyrese Halliburton to the Indiana Pacers, which was one of the first trades that happened before the deadline. I think we can all agree the Kings, I don't know what they're doing, and we can talk about that at some point, but Tyrese Halliburton is going to be a star someday. I think he was a great piece for the Kings, and you had to blow up this team anyways. You got Sabonis, you have I don't even know if Malcolm, I don't even know what's still on that team. Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert was. That team was going nowhere. To get basically swapping someone you thought was going to be a franchise player in the Paul George trade to someone now that is younger and you can now definitively rebuild around. He's in his second year. I think this is a massive W for the Pacers, trying to get off that Sabonis contract because they were kind of in NBA purgatory. You got way too much talent to just be committed to the tank. They just sucked that much that it looked like they were committed to a tank.
They were horrible.
But I don't know what they're going to do with Miles Turner, but I think this is a W for the Pacers to get Tyrese Halliburton. I was not expecting that much of a return for Sabonis, who is now approaching 20 mid to late 20s. So, I like this trade a lot.
I totally agree with you. The Pacers this season, they're horrible. Horrible team with Sabonis. They should not be they're the 13 seed in the East. I mean, with the talent on the roster, Rick Carlisle as your head coach, that shouldn't happen, especially with how close the East is this year. The fact that they were able to get a rising star like Halliburton, get rid of Sabonis and start this rebuild, I really like it. Because we talked about this time and time again where teams that are just mediocre, they sit in either now the play-in bubble or a little below, what's the point? You're not winning. You're not doing anything. The best you do is you make a playoff appearance. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was confused when they introduced the play-in bubble, because it kind of, in a way, rewards teams that just stay in that purgatory. Like, when you're the 10 seed, you shouldn't really...
You shouldn't be happy about it.
You shouldn't be happy about the 10 seed at all, but this play-in game gives you hope, and I get it's probably a big business strategy and market strategy, but I don't know. The Pacers had to make a decision. They've been bad this year. So Rick Carlisle used to coach the Mavs. You think any of this is his fault, or is it just the roster?
New coach, I guess, roster that's dealt with a lot of injuries, a lot of COVID stuff this year. I mean, it's a really weird situation in general because the team really underperformed this year, and I don't know. I mean, Indiana, I guess you gotta give them props though. They're trying to rebuild now. It's pretty obvious. They got rid of Karras. They got a guy that they can build around in Halliburton, who's been playing really well this season. But on the flip side, if you look at the Kings, right now they're the 12 seed in the West, or the 13 seed in the West. Realistically, they're fighting for a 10 seed. That is their ceiling right now, looking at the standings. So it doesn't really make sense for them to trade away their young guy and take on a guy with a big contract who has really underperformed this season. And I really don't understand the trade from the Kings side at all.
I don't understand how, and I don't know what the negotiations were like, but you're trying to get rid of Bagley because Bagley said he's been unhappy for a while. I don't understand the Davion Mitchell draft at all because he's a 6-foot guard, a defensive guard, and you have your 6'3" starting guard De'Aaron Fox, who you could argue is becoming the face of this franchise or whatever. And then you had Buddy Hield. So yes, getting rid of Buddy Hield, that was kind of inevitable. But why could you not? I'd be willing to attach Bagley and Davion instead of Tyrese because now you have Bagley won't start because you have Sabonis. I'm not putting Bagley at the 5.
You have Holmes, too.
Yes.
Sean Holmes.
And now Davion Mitchell still, you can't, yes, you freed up a spot at the 2, but I'm not putting Davion Mitchell at my point guard position and then De'Aaron Fox at the 2. That just doesn't make any sense. So I don't really get why they did this.
Poor Sacramento. Their front office has been so bad for years. Who is it? Is it Vlade?
No, he's out. I thought it was, but he's out.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter because they're still making bonehead moves. The poor Kings. If there are any Kings fans out there, which to all 3 of you guys out there in the world, I'm sorry. That's a hard knock life. But good for the Pacers. Embracing the rebuild, I like it. They're not trying to be in purgatory anymore, which is good.
Sean, what do you think about the Halliburton trade?
Yeah, the Kings, you get a 10 seed. I don't know. It doesn't excite me either way. I don't see the point of it. The Pacers lineup is not that great. I think these are just both 2 average teams trying to do average moves, doing absolutely nothing.
Trying to just change.
It means absolutely nothing
for the sake of change.
We've spent too much time talking about meaningless trade already.
I agree. Before we get to the Nets side of the Harden trade, let's go through the worst trades from the deadline. Sean, let's start with you.
Okay, worst trade from the deadline. I don't like the Bucks trading away DiVincenzo for Ibaka. I just don't understand from the Bucks' point of view. DiVincenzo has played really well this year. He's been a key starter for them both years. Good shooting, good ability to get into the paint. And Ibaka's old. I really just don't see it.
I don't understand either. Ibaka was in the G League 2 weeks ago.
And they're trading away major players for Ibaka.
I also don't like the trade, but I understand why they did it because Brook Lopez was having a horrendous year for the Bucks so far. And so I don't know if Ibaka's supposed to come in and start right away. It gives you more defense. You sacrifice a little bit of shooting that Brook Lopez had, but if Brook Lopez isn't playing good, then I guess you had to make a change. But I also agree I don't like giving away DiVincenzo. I don't know who starts at the 2.
It's going to be Grayson Allen now.
Who's having a good year.
Yeah.
It's Grayson Allen.
Unfortunately.
But, yeah, no bueno. Liam, what do you have?
This one hit kind of close to home, but I never thought I'd be upset about saying this, but the Mavs trading away Kristaps Porzingis, just for what they got in return, it didn't make any sense. I mean, they got rid of his contract, which is great, but they took on Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, who Dinwiddie is just a worse version of Brunson right now. And Bertans is just, he's going to sit in the corner and shoot threes. I don't get how. All I know is Jeremy Grant wanted out of Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why they didn't go for him. It doesn't make any sense to me, because that's the type of player you need alongside Luka. And
I don't understand
know.
at all.
Well, we'll see.
I think the biggest thing I saw.
They did move on from the contract, though, which opens them up for free agency this season, I guess, or this upcoming.
Only reason I saw is people think Jalen Brunson is not coming back to the Mavs because he's going to get a bigger contract they're willing to give, and this is the not cheap, but like an easy Jalen Brunson replacement. But I don't understand what the starting lineup is.
It doesn't make any sense.
Can you explain the starting lineup? Like, is Luka playing at the 3? Are you having Brunson or Dinwiddie come off the bench? Like, you replaced a starter with literally a bench player. So I don't understand where you're going with this.
The big issue for the Mavs this season was Tim Hardaway not playing well, and he hasn't been starting. So
is Luka playing at the 3?
I guess. I mean, he takes the ball up the whole game anyway.
Oh yeah.
But this just really didn't make much sense. They didn't get anything in return, in my opinion. Anything valuable, at least.
Yeah, I think this trade was a big question mark. I understand wanting to move away from Porzingis and getting off that contract just because he's been a shell of his New York self. And clearly the Luka KP pairing wasn't like bringing you to the heights you thought it was. It was going to bring you to. But at the same time, I think I see why they made this from a theoretical perspective, but I think the execution was terrible. You need more ball handlers, right? Luka, or you need more people that can create their own shots, create more offense because Luka's doing everything.
Around Luka.
So I understand going out and getting, a guard, even though you might be stacked at the guard position, a guard that can create for their own. But Spencer Dinwiddie is a bad return for that. Davis Bertans, for the last 2 years, has been shooting terribly, and that's really all he was supposed to do, was come in and shoot. And it's not even that much financial flexibility. Dinwiddie's in the first year of a 3-year, $54 million contract.
Yeah, it's a huge contract. Yeah.
So
but, I mean, they did it, I think, to get rid of the Porzingis contract. Maybe free. The Mavs have got to do something soon to keep Luka happy, because obviously Porzingis wasn't working out. I just don't get how there was nothing for him.
I can see that this is maybe a bench bolstering move. Maybe the front office is looking like, hey, we get outscored horrendously when Luka's
that is
off
true.
the floor. And so maybe maybe we were trying to get rid of KP anyways, and we bring in Dinwiddie, and we don't even intend for him to start. We just want that bench. So you can still do a Luka Brunson starting backcourt. But now on your bench, you got Dinwiddie, you got Tim Hardaway, you have now you have Bertans, who bare minimum he can space the floor. Even if he's not shooting well, you still got to respect it just because that's what his reputation
Another
is.
thing too, the Mavs don't have their picks. They're still giving their picks away to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh, for that trade.
Yeah.
So maybe getting a first back would have been nice.
Yeah, they didn't get any picks back.
The starting lineup,
it's literally Luka,
Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Maxi Kleber, and you got Dwight Powell, Davis Bertans, Josh Green, and Spencer Dinwiddie coming to the bench. Wow. Frankie Ntilikina back at oh my god, I don't understand this at all.
It doesn't.
They got way
make
worse.
any sense.
They got way worse.
They did.
The Mavericks lost this trade deadline.
100%. I mean, they just didn't
That's
get anything.
later, but
I would be willing to throw in Zingis. I'd throw in because I don't even know how we could even get looking at what just happened. The fact that I was even thinking that we could get Jeremy Grant is obviously just so unrealistic.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't even know what to say. I don't want to. This is just a bad trade.
Okay, before we get into the Nets side of the Harden trade, my worst trade from the deadline, just because I thought it was a big question mark, is CJ to the Pelicans. I understand the Blazers, so I don't know what the Blazers are trying to do. I thought, when I saw this trade, I thought it was the inevitable. We get rid of Dame, we start over, we build around Anthony Simmons and whatever pick we get. But now that they're saying they want to build around Dame again, and so they're freeing up cap space by getting off the CJ contract. But, I mean, the return was pretty mediocre. I thought it was supposed to be like based around Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Josh Hart, and then they go trade Nickeil Alexander-Walker for Joe Ingles, and Sean's theory is Joe Ingles isn't going to even stay there. So
It's really.
I don't understand.
I have a reasoning.
I also don't get it from the Pelicans' perspective.
It makes
too.
sense for me from the Blazers' point of view because Dame's out the rest of the year because of injury. Dame's not coming back.
Oh, so you think they're gonna try and do like a Warriors type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine this line next year. They
true.
tank, they get a low draft pick. You now have cap space to sign an elite free agent. You have Dame, Simons, an elite free agent, and Chet or whoever like a top pick is this year.
Elite free agent though?
Yeah, that's the
nobody
problem.
wants
No
to go
one
to Portland.
wants to go to Portland because they've shown time and time again.
But
that
when
they
you have that
stink.
lineup and you have those guys in place, like I feel like Dame could go recruit somebody. I don't know what the free agent market is. I have no idea.
Well, now Harden's not on it anymore because he picked up his option. So you're one less.
And would you want to pair Dame and Harden anyway? No.
Free agents of 2022.
I
The
could
headliner, Russ Westbrook.
Oh boy,
That's great.
That's not happening.
I think he's got a team option. He's probably gonna.
John
I would
Wall,
assume he picks
Bradley
him up.
Beal's a free agent.
That'd be
Kyrie
interesting,
Irving,
but there's
Gary Harris, Iguodala,
Are there any big guys or no?
Levine, but he's got bird rights.
He's not.
Yeah,
he's not leaving.
So I'm saying, this is
Joe Ingles.
This just reminds me of when the Knicks cleared all that cap space to try and go get Durant and Kyrie, and then they ended up with none because nobody
talked
wanted to
about
go
this.
to that
Yeah.
front office.
We've talked about this forever. The Blazers should have done this move 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little late now. Dame's hurt. What if he doesn't come back from his injury?
He wasn't having a good season anyways.
He was having a horrible season.
So his value, as weird as it is to say, is only going down.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
We're not big Blazers fans over here.
And before we get on to the Nets trade, just quickly, I don't get it for the Pelicans because CJ is like 30 and Zion and Brandon Ingram are very young.
And the Pelicans always underperform.
It's an odd
very
trio
weird.
to I didn't
They're
get
a
it.
talented trio when they're healthy.
Sure, yeah.
But if Zion may never be healthy again, that's going to be an issue.
Do you think Zion ever plays again?
Yes,
up to his level again.
You mean just play,
When was
or
the last time he's played?
last season? I guess. Did
he play much last season? Did he even play at all last season?
Yeah, he had to.
I can't see Zion. This would be a hot take. But
This is a big thing for you to say too, Sean.
I know
I'm a
I
big
love Zion,
fan.
but I don't think Zion plays more than 82 games in his entire career. Not even
Wow.
this season.
From this
his
point
entire
on.
career.
From this point on.
No.
Or?
From where? How many games did he play in his career?
He's played 85.
Oh, really? Never mind.
He played 24 his rookie year and then 61 and was an All-Star last year.
Oh, he played well last year. Interesting.
He had 27, 7-3 on
I do remember having Bill.
61% shooting.
Okay.
Like he was being very productive.
Back it
Now
up.
he's just fat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pelicans, once again, another team that's just
Get out of New Orleans.
always
Get out of the
underperform.
cooking.
They stink.
Go to somewhere with bad cooking. Not New
I mean, I
Orleans.
want to see him succeed. I don't think anyone's rooting against him. And he had a great, very quiet. I don't think anyone really talked about how good, he was averaging 27 last year.
He had a great season
Like
last year.
absurd. And now I don't know. His play style just doesn't scream longevity to me because someone with that
body
much
size.
mass to get that much high, it's only like that
It's only
high
a
in the
matter of
air
time,
is
right?
is only gonna like cause issues. Like scientifically, that should not be
That's
possible.
why it's scary watching Jaw too, because he does everything, and these young guys are so athletic, but
Yeah. But the thing about Zion is he's like 250, 275.
well, he's 300 right now. Yeah, it's
He's
scary.
Khalil Mack size playing basketball.
Exactly.
It's
just-
really
it's not
weird.
conducive for success.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to the other side of the huge trade. Sean, what are we thinking if we're a Nets fan?
I am not a Nets fan. Nobody in New York is a Nets fan. But I love the move from the Nets' point of view. This lineup now, when healthy, of Kyrie, Seth Curry, Kevin Durant. Play Ben Simmons at the 5 you want. Ben Simmons' his best career, him at his best point in his career was playing at the 5.
Or the 4.
Or the 4 or the 5. Like, oh my God, he's such a great ball player. If we have no idea how healthy he is, what shape he's in, what basketball mindset he's in, when he's even going to play his first game in the Brooklyn Nets uniform. But if he does and he comes back healthy and even close to the player he was back in his Rookie of the Year season, the Nets can be a very dangerous team. And I see them they got depth now. They have more of a depth. They have Patty Mills is having a great year. Seth Curry's good. Drummond, big steal, great center position for them with Claxton. And if Kyrie can start, because I know New York City is dropping the vaccine mandate soon, so if Kyrie can start playing games,
that'd be huge
in Brooklyn. This team's very scary. I think this team, in my opinion, is still the favorite coming out of the East.
So let's say Kyrie's a full-time player, because it sounds like he's going to become a full-time player soon. Do you think this current squad is beating or is reaching heights that Kyrie, James Harden, Kevin Durant couldn't reach?
Well, what heights did they? They played 17 games together.
Yeah,
there was no heights with them together.
They're one game. I guess you look at the height.
They were 13-3 in the games they played together. That's amazing.
They won't get to that point again, but that point never really happened.
Fair.
They were because they never played together in the playoffs.
They were one point. They were one toe away, and that was without Kyrie.
Yeah,
and Harden was
so obviously
the shell of himself out of
exactly.
shape.
Yeah, I know you said biggest what if ever. This probably is.
Yes, this is my take that the Kyrie, Harden, Durant, and feel free to argue, Sean. The Kyrie, Harden, Durant trio replaces the Russ, Harden, Durant trio as the biggest what if of NBA history.
I'd say yes,
because all in their primes, right? And they were 13-3 together.
They played 16 games together. It's pathetic.
What if
really
it's harder? Because we only had a year of a what if. If that makes any sense.
A year of what?
A year of the what if. Like, they were only together practically for 1 year. The Thunder were together for a lot longer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we saw.
I know, but I think they're bigger than what if because they weren't in their primes yet. I think the Nets, we saw what they could have been.
Yeah,
I think the Thunder's
didn't do
more
it.
of a what if because we don't really know what if. We know the Nets could have been if they would have all played together healthy.
My argument also kind of stems around James Harden never becomes the player he is if he stays on the Thunder, and now you have him like as the player he is now with Durant and Kyrie on their primes. Kyrie, proven winner. I mean, he has won a ring, whether it be with LeBron or whatever. He has won a ring regardless. He's hit big time shots.
It's possible.
I'm saying that is the fact that they went like 13-3 together. Imagine if they run it back. Like, I don't know what happens this
Why
playoffs,
isn't Harden? I don't understand why
Harden's a diva.
But no. Here's what I'm saying. Just imagine the start of next season. There's no vax mandate. Kevin Durant's healthy. James Harden's healthy. Let's just imagine that.
Oh yeah, there's a huge what if there.
Huge what if.
Huge
and
what if.
Definitely sign some free agents. Make that depth better. That I don't understand. I don't know.
But I think the fact
Harden's a fool. He's a fool.
The other part of my argument was that it was only 16 games we saw together. Like, we saw what Russ, Harden, Durant were.
I know, but they were just so close. Like,
so close, yeah.
3-1.
But we didn't even it's kind of sad that we didn't even give this Nets team, like, they weren't even given a chance to be all healthy together in the playoffs.
Just James,
they could create damage in the playoffs this year,
and they did last year. But
what is James Harden's goal in life? Does he want to win a national title? Because
I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing.
That's not a question for me. I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing. I do not understand him.
Maybe part of him wants to be the man again and not.
They go to the team with an MVP favorite, like
but
you're not the man in Philly.
He wasn't going to be the man behind Durant, and then Kyrie's there.
Well, this season, if he was going to buck up and do something, they were on an 11-game losing streak. This is Durant's hurt. Now is your time to step up.
Yeah.
And now, I hate to say it, if Kevin Durant doesn't come back, if Ben Simmons doesn't figure that out, the Nets might be too far out of the playoff picture when they are healthy to even get back in.
No, they're making the playoffs.
Dude, they've lost their last 11 games. They're 7.5 out of first. They're only 2.5 from missing the playoffs, missing the play-in.
No, they're fine. I'm not worried about that.
So what's the fit? I think the key detail here is what is the fit with Simmons around Kyrie and Durant?
Playmaker.
And
think about that transition offense. If Simmons is at the 5, they're just gonna run teams off the court. He'll
Seth
just
Curry,
drive to
corner
the hoop.
3.
Yeah, corner 3.
Joe Harris, corner 3.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Patty Mills, corner 3.
It's going to be unbelievable. We're gonna see this team just outpace people and outscore them.
There's no big guy like Philly that's taking up space for Ben Simmons to operate.
Because Ben Simmons can play defense. He can play defense 1 through 5. Durant can guard. Durant's very underrated defender. Kyrie's but I mean, they're gonna destroy teams.
If Ben Simmons is healthy, he can play.
Yeah.
I don't know where his mental health is, but
Is Ben Simmons your second ball handler on this team or your third?
I think it's a weird.
Anyone can.
I don't think
handle the ball.
NBA is there's ball handlers.
No.
Yeah, I guess
Not
that wasn't the
Not
best way to
anymore.
put it. But
Who's your main
Scoring option?
creator?
He's not a
Main
scoring
creator.
option.
it's weird to the idea of having him as your third option because he can't play off ball. He needs the ball in his hands.
But
right?
you could be the third option and still have the ball in your hands a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true.
Think about they come down with a rebound outlet.
Yep.
They've already scored.
Yeah, I totally think that it was a good return in theory on paper, but it's just I'm not ready to say this was an A+ move for the Nets because it's just a huge question mark in my mind on how these three
Yeah,
play
because
together.
Ben Simmons can come back and never be even close to what he
It's
was.
honestly such a the Harden, Kyrie, Durant was that's a lot of ball handlers, but this is such an equally weird but so different problem, or not problem, but question, because it's not the same question if Harden's another guard that's a ball handler. Now you have Ben Simmons who is a non-shooter who kind of needs the ball in his hands to be effective. It's a very different question, but it's at the same time it's kind of equally similar.
But
if that
the
makes sense.
defense as well.
Yeah.
Harden
Yeah.
did not play
But-
defense.
yeah,
Ben
that's
Simmons
true.
is when he's up to whatever standard he is, defensive player of the year candidate for sure.
I think Ben Simmons comes in energized.
I really hope he does because
Yeah.
he's been. I know we've been giving him a lot of crap, but the mental health aspect, you never know what athletes are going through. I mean, they're getting paid millions of dollars to play a game, but still, people struggle with that type of stuff. I hope he comes in and I want to see they're on an 11-game losing streak right now. They gotta do something quick.
I hope he comes in and goes back to his defensive player of the year
That would
candidate
be-
self.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Rookie of the year.
rookie of his
He,
third year.
as
but-
Rich was joking about, he had a great season that year.
Yeah, he did,
If he
yeah.
can play anywhere near that to this level,
But now you look at fit too. Him with Kyrie and Durant, I think is a much better fit than him with Embiid.
yeah, I agree. It's spacing. It's spacing.
They're gonna be an issue.
All about spacing.
If they're healthy.
So, okay, we've talked about a lot on who's won the deadline. Who has lost the deadline?
Can I mention the team how I won the deadline?
Go for it. Yeah, I guess we haven't really talked about them. Go
Just
for it.
quickly, I think they did a really good job of clearing cap space, big thing, getting under luxury tax to be able to
Who is
sign
this?
guys to the future Celtics.
Okay.
And the fact that Derek White is a good acquisition for us because the fact that our starting lineup this entire season has been Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford and Robert Williams starting. We have two basically centers starting, which isn't conclusive to play in the NBA nowadays. But you bring Derek White in there, you move everybody down a little bit, take Horford out, Horford come off the bench. I think it gives us a better playmaker, a better scorer.
How tall is Derek White?
He's not very tall. He's short. He's a point guard. But Marcus Smart's just a good defender, so it helps alleviate these issues. So I don't know. I think it's a big trade for the Celtics. A little under talked about because they also got rid of Cantor or Freedom.
What was the actual trade
For Derek White?
Yeah.
Schroeder and somebody.
I know.
So it's
I
Derek
thought
White
Schroeder
for
went to the Rockets.
Richardson, Derek White for Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford,
Yeah.
Oh.
protected first, and the rights to swap first in 2028.
Yeah. It's not too much.
I mean, you're not giving up in terms of players. You're not giving.
Yeah, and then we gave rid of Schroeder, Freedom, and Fernando
for
Tice.
Tice again.
We also gave rid. There's a Bull trade we got rid of for
Tice behind Robert Williams is pretty good.
Yeah, and we got traded away Bull and PG Dozier for a second-round draft.
A lot of quiet moves for the Celtics.
I do like that the Celtics are making these moves though, because they've very much underperformed this season.
But
East
they
is
started
wide
playing a little
open.
better now.
They've been playing really a lot better.
Yeah,
Their
shout out.
defense is really good.
That's where I was going. Shout out Alex Denemy. He pointed out the other day that the Celtics have the best defensive rating in basketball. So
Yeah.
adding Derek White only bolsters
And they're on a
that.
7-game win streak right now.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, as how close the East has been, if you look at the top 6 seeds at the beginning of the season, you would have thought the Celtics would be in there for sure. And I mean, they're 5 games out of first, which is not bad at all, but still underperformed this season. But these moves will definitely help them.
They can compete into that. I think they could get to that 6 seed possibly, depending on how it shakes out.
Easily.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
There's going to be a lot of movement between these teams in the East.
All right, so who lost the deadline?
The Mavericks.
Yeah,
But we talked about it earlier, so we don't have to get more into that.
the Lakers by
The
not
Lakers.
making a move.
The Lakers, no moves.
Yeah, that
Rob Pelinka was at Disneyland during the deadline, apparently.
It's just stupid.
Big shout out to LeBron James. We kept the same energy.
You look at their roster.
They said they're going with the buyout market.
You want more old guys?
Yeah, more old guys.
I know. What are you going to go get Goran Dragic when he gets bought out? Like,
I want him on the Mavs.
I don't understand the Lakers. LeBron, again.
Stupid.
Came out and said, I'm going to say it, came out and said in the offseason that we were all making fun of him for an old team and injuries. And he goes, keep that same energy in the regular season when we're winning games. And what have you done, LeBron? You have not proved us wrong. Absolutely. You've proved us completely correct. The Lakers are a bunch of old guys who just are past their prime and can't compete right now. And I'm not sure what happened to Anthony Davis. Like, where is this guy gone?
He's soft.
He's great defensively.
He's soft.
That's it.
But I don't understand. This is supposed to be the transition year almost.
His ability to dominate a game is gone, but
they talked about
defensively. He's still very good.
LeBron's talked about transitioning his team from LeBron to AD and having AD develop as that player, and it's just not
AD
panned out
is not
at all.
that guy. He plays like a 5'11" shooting guard.
Yeah,
it's pathetic.
I don't know where the AD from the year they won went, but
AD from the Pelicans,
he was averaging
like
32 or whatever it was,
something like that. I don't know where that guy went. So my losers are Lakers, and I'm going to go with Bradley Beal as well.
They're not getting out of Washington yet.
Yeah, well, those pieces that they're like, yeah, we're really excited to get this new supporting cast around Bradley Beal.
They're all gone.
Well, now you're the 10 seed, and now Dinwiddie's gone, Montrezl Harrell's gone. So you just end up back at square one, and Bradley Beal's only getting older. Like, just choose. They got to choose a direction. You've tried now. Like, as soon as John Wall became a non-factor with his injury, you tried to pair him with Russ, and that didn't work. You tried to pair him with a better supporting cast, and that didn't work. When is it time to, like, hit the button, like, yeah, we failed. We made a mistake. Like, we can't do anything anymore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, once again, they should, like the Blazers, they should have done this a while ago, I think. There's no reason for teams to be stuck in mediocrity. You got to do something. And Wizards stink.
There's a lot of mediocre franchises in the NBA, and it's kind of sad.
They got to do what the Suns did, got to do what the Bucks did, and just you have to accept being bad, and you just have to build. You really have to build.
Which sucks about the NBA. It does not ruin mediocrity at all.
Because you can't build all in one swoop either. Like what the Wizards tried to do this year with getting him a supporting cast. They tried to fix all their problems in 1 year. It's just not going to happen. Sad.
It's tough, especially when. Oh, and then you lose Davis Bertans was a big part of that cast. I don't know. They haven't been drafting well. I like that guy from Israel, Denny Avdia. Didn't really turn out to anything. Rui Hashimura is a good player, but
hurt.
Hurt.
Daniel Gafford.
I like Gafford though.
Thomas
I like
Bryant
Gafford.
hurt.
Thomas Bryant.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's just underperforming.
And they have Zingas.
Now they got Porzingis. Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Huge long
Bradley Beal and Porzingis.
Maybe this is the duo.
The pick and roll that everybody wanted.
Oh God.
James Harden, Joel Embiid, move over. We have Beal and Zingas.
Any other trades before we close out? Karras. Okay, yeah. Big acquisition for the Cavs, who you're high on the Cavs.
Yeah, they didn't
obviously.
really lose any. I mean, Ricky Rubio's been hurt. They lost the first round pick in 2 seconds, but the Cavs don't need picks right now. So this was a great trade. They got a guy that can just flat out score.
Yeah, you could honestly start Karras with Garland. Garland's been playing out of his mind.
All-star.
We've talked about it for so long. Yeah. Like this team is really coming together, and now you add Karras LeVert. Even if he's your sixth man, that's a great sixth man.
Imagine if the Cavs had a guy like LeBron James right now. How crazy!
That'd be
wild. Is Sexton coming back?
I don't. He's been injured for a long time. I think he might be a free agent after this year, and unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna throw him a lot of money.
Colin Sexton's out for the season with a meniscus tear.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's gonna be because the Sexton Garland backcourt was always a weird fitting, and now Garland's coming to his own with Sexton out.
Jared Allen's been playing unbelievable.
I think it's time you move on from Sexton.
Yeah.
Unfortunate as it is that his injuries causing him to lose money, it's just what it is.
Isaac Okoro's been playing really well for them.
I think you guys are a lot higher on the Cavs than I am because they're 3 seed in the East right now.
3 seed in the East.
I know, but are they finishing as a 3 seed in the East?
I don't know because
I can see them falling into the play-in game just because of the fact that If you think the Nets are going to come up into there, I think the Celtics could go into the top 6. Like
I wouldn't want to play the Cavs in the playoffs.
I wouldn't.
I would not want to play them.
I can see the Cavs falling to a 7th seed.
I could see that too. And if you look at their roster, they've totally overperformed this season.
I think they're the
by
Knicks.
far.
I think they're the Knicks this year, to be honest. Like last year, a little bit.
That's interesting. But if you look at, they got Darius Garland, All-Star, Evan Mobley, top 5 defensive player right now.
Yeah.
Jared Allen, who should have been an All-Star, and Isaac Okoro, who's coming. He has a good season. Lauri Markkanen, I mean, still kind of a question mark there. But besides
Karis
that,
LeVert acquisition.
So they're
Karis LeVert's a
slated.
big pick for them.
They're slated to play the Raptors if the playoffs start today.
That would
And
be crazy.
if I'm Fred VanVleet or Scotty Barnes or Gary Trent Jr., I'm gonna get exhausted and frustrated driving to the hoop and meeting either Mobley and Jared Allen there. I'm gonna get exhausted, tired, and I think that type of energy. Is it safe to say it kind of reminds me of like a grit and grind, like
it does.
Grizzlies?
It does.
Defensive identity, they hustle, and Garland's, if we're still making that analogy, Garland's way better than Mike Conley ever was in Memphis, in my opinion, at this point.
Mike Conley was never an All-Star, so.
Yeah, so I like this team a lot, I'm happy to see them finding some sort of success outside LeBron in their franchise history. I think it's good for them as a team.
I just looked at the Cavs schedule. Their last 4 games of the season are absolutely brutal. They play the Sixers, the Magic, the Nets, and the Bucks.
Hey, you gotta
finish the season like
teams.
that.
Gotta be teams.
I don't know.
Big tests.
I think they fall in the top 6.
I will say this though: you look at opponent points per game. Cavs are number 1.
Yeah, they got good defense. Good defense.
I mean,
good team around them. Good
yeah.
team. Down the stretch, I feel like they're gonna fall a little bit. Fall into play games.
That's fair. As teams, well, in the playoffs, you see how important defense is.
Yeah.
This is the last team I'd want to play away.
Scary team.
Ooh.
Everyone's talking about Heat, Bulls, Bucks, Sixers, Nets.
But this team,
be afraid of the Cavs.
Defense wins. That's football. Defense wins championships.
I think it's great that the East is stacked again. I hated when it was just.
It's so close.
It was. We knew it was going to be Warriors, Cavs purely because the East was just.
Whatever team LeBron is on.
Exactly, because there was no team. But now this is a deep conference.
You got the first 7 teams separated by 5 games.
It's great. I think it's good for basketball.
Yeah, I'm excited. Nice run stretch a little bit. Got college basketball picking up. Super Bowl's ending. NFL season's over, but
go Cats.
Sports are picking up. Big game for Villanova on Tuesday.
Yeah,
who we played?
Providence.
PC. They're good this year.
Providence
really good.
In these last couple of games, we have 2 games against Providence. We beat Providence twice.
But they beat us our sophomore year and went on to win the Big East tournament. I won't forget that.
They didn't win the Big East tournament.
Yeah, they did.
High school or college?
Our sophomore year.
Of college?
Yeah.
No,
we were watching it in the quad.
Georgetown won it.
Who beat us round 1 then?
Georgetown beat us.
Oh, never mind. I'm mixing up. Either way, I mean...
Providence is good.
PC's good this year.
They're above us in the rankings. Tough. They barely beat DePaul yesterday, so it should be interesting.
Have you seen the guy that they got from transfer? Providence?
Yeah.
He's nice.
He's good.
He's nice.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
As I've been saying all year, Wildcats
go Cats.
Need a top 2 seed in the tournament, NCAA tournament. We get a home game for Elite 8 and Sweet 16, so hopefully that should be fun. We'll see how it goes.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. We had a jam-packed episode today with the Super Bowl and the trade deadline, and I know we could have gone on for another hour if we had the time. Make sure to tune in next Sunday, 11:30. I guess we'll recap the Super Bowl. Hopefully it's exciting enough that we have a lot to talk about. Get into some NBA and college and whatnot. It's sad that this is like one of the last episodes we'll talk about the NFL. It's kind of been one of our favorite things to talk about on the show.
I bet we'll talk about it next week, though.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah. But I'll save that speech for then. Thank you for listening. Fun in the locker room.
Let's go Bengals.
Go Bengals, baby. Check us out on YouTube if you missed any part of the episode or you want to go back and listen more. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We've been posting a lot of polls recently as things have been heating up with the playoffs. Go Cats. You're listening to 89.1 FM WXVU. Student Run Radio, The Roar. This is Fun in the Locker Room. Signing off.